gentlemen, welcome back to Spurs Live. Obviously, we are joined with co-host Josh. How are you doing, my mate? How are you?
I'm good, mate. Some of the attire, don't question it, but I just had a round of golf, as we mentioned before we started the recording. So I'm feeling hot, feeling good. But yeah, how are you, mate?
All good, all good. Come on, guys, show him some love in the comment section. That new haircut, new trim, looking good.
Yeah, come on, the
But we are
takers, you
back.
know.
No, it's a nice one. I gotta say, it's a nice one. All right, we're back with a match preview, a quick one to talk about points coming up to the game. You know, Fulham. It's not an easy game, not an easy fixture. What are your thoughts coming into the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I don't want to underestimate the importance of the cups this year. I think as Spurs fans, we've written off the season in terms of I think everyone's lowered their expectations a little bit. So it's not
Yeah,
like we're looking for Champions League football. We're on the channel. We've been focusing more on the performances and the results. It just so happens that the results have been great. But it was the performances we're looking for. But I would like to see us get further in the cups. We were really disappointing last year in the cups. You know, going out to Sheffield United in the FA and losing out on the Carabao Cup pretty early on as well. So I would like a cup run this year.
100%, I agree. I mean, the last time we were in a EFL Cup second round was God knows how long, but
Mm.
it's been a long time since we've been in this kind of round. Now, I want to talk about a couple points for the game. So, first of all, it's a couple of changes. Ange said that he'll most likely do a couple of changes for the game, and I'm just interested to know, Josh, from your point of view, because I'm going to start with, in my opinion, I think the lineup at the front will be needed more changes than the back. I think the defense line shouldn't be changed. It should be more the front. I will start Perisic and Solomon.
Mm.
Bring in Lo Celso, and I'm debating if to bring in Højbjerg or Skip, but I'm probably going to bring in Højbjerg. Who would you want to see come in for Ange and Tottenham?
Yeah, I think we definitely do need some rotation, just because we don't have a lot of opportunities to hand out minutes for those squad players. So yeah, I think this is a good time to rotate as any. I think I agree. Front line, I'd like to see Perisic start, but if he doesn't start, I'd like to see Solomon start on the left if he's not already going to start on the right, and that depends also if we have a. Yeah, obviously, I don't think Brennan Johnson, if he does join, I think we won't be ready for that fixture if he does join. Whatever anyone's thoughts on that are, that's a whole other thing that we'll talk
Hundred
about at
percent,
some
and
point.
we will get your thoughts on it at some point,
Yeah.
Joshua. 100% we will.
Um,
And but let's stick to the match preview
but yeah,
regarding your changes that you have. Who are you?
but
Who are
yeah.
your
So I'd
changes?
like to see Solomon and Perisic play. If Perisic doesn't play, definitely Solomon. I really want to see Solomon start and see what he can do, especially against his old club. Um, striker wise, I don't want to see Dane or anyone like that starting. Let's not underestimate opponents. We always do it. We underestimate opponents and we go a bit too weak sometimes, I feel, in these cup competitions. Richie needs his goal desperately, and we need to give him as many chances as we can to get that goal. So I definitely think Richie needs to start. Midfield definitely needs rotation, though. I think that's the biggest place. Madison, we
Yes,
can't put too many minutes on that boy's shoulders. He needs to rest. Lo Celso deserves minutes, so I want to see Lo Celso starting, and I'm happy to see Skippy start or Højbjerg in that sort of six role instead of Basuma or Sarr. Either one of them. I do think we need some experience in there. If I think he'll start not Basuma, sorry, Højbjerg, Skip, and Lo Celso. I think that'll be our midfield three. I think we'll do the whole lot, which isn't an awful midfield, but
yeah, but okay. So from one perspective, would you not think it's a bit too defensive?
yeah, but he seems to love Skip as an eight at the minute. And I know he scored two against Barca, and I think it is, but it's also solid. Like it's a cut. I don't know how strong or weak Fulham are going to go, but I think it'll do a job. And if it doesn't work, we can obviously always put in Basuma or Sarr or one of those other options in midfield. And then defense. I know you said you wanted to keep the same sort of defense, but I wouldn't mind seeing Emerson get some minutes. I think he does deserve some minutes. It was harsh on him to get dropped initially, but Pyro has been so good in the games that he's played. But I wouldn't mind seeing Emerson get some minutes.
Interesting, interesting. I mean, in terms of the Emerson point of view, I agree. The Emerson point of view, I agree. But for the midfield, personally, I would slightly disagree with you and start Basuma. I just think as long as he keeps on going, just keep him getting the games on his belt, I think that does him well. But I completely agree with you with the Emerson. I think in terms of whenever we've done really lineup predictions, we all think that, it's either Poor or Emerson starting, always Poor or Emerson. But I think for this game, Emerson should definitely start. Number one, to get him minutes as well.
Mm.
He has not been getting a lot of minutes under his belt with Ange, and I think today could be well, tomorrow could be a good game for him to play. Now, Josh, what do you think of our opponents? Because whenever I come into these kind of games, League Cup games, but not, I wouldn't say I was going to say Premier League. No, maybe not Premier League.
Mm.
Whenever I come to League Cup games, I always think to myself, are we counted as a big team? So if you got the likes of Fulham, will they also rest players or will they go in for us hard? I mean, what do you think? How do you think Fulham will approach the game?
Well, I'm in a good mood with Fulham at the minute because obviously they took some points from that lot down the road. So I'm in a good mood with Fulham. But yeah, I think we're considered a big team in the cups, and it's one of those though where Fulham usually, if this was last season, maybe they would go for it in the cup because they're sort of comfortable in their league position, and it's so early, so we don't really know anyway how Fulham are going to get on. But I do think Fulham losing Mitrovic, possibly I don't know if Willian's is still at the club or if he's definitely left as well, but they're going to lose Adebayo by the looks of it to Monaco in the next week before the
Yeah,
deadline hits, and I think there's a lot of uncertainty. Their squad's looking a bit thin. Um, I don't know if they sort of have the capacity to rotate, even if they wanted to. But if they don't rotate, they're definitely going to have some tired legs because Arsenal ran them ragged. Um, but I think we shouldn't underestimate them because I honestly, the amount of times we have
yeah.
underestimated opponents in the cups, gone way too weak and too much rotation. We put out a whole new 11, and they just don't gel quick enough because they haven't played together at all during the season, and then we flunk out, and we don't have a Harry Kane to bail us out. We always used to sub on Kane 70, 80 minutes,
Exactly.
we bag one and pull us through. We don't have that option anymore. We have a great starting 11, but we don't have that one
Yeah.
guy necessarily at the minute that's other than maybe Matters, but we don't have that guy that's just going to pull a goal out of nowhere anymore and save a horrible performance in the cup.
Well, I think you hit that spot on. When you talked about underestimating opponents, I'm in one point of my mind. I'm grateful that we actually got Fulham because I feel like if we got any other lower team, we would kind of not underestimate, but we would kind of mock a bit. I know Ange isn't a fan of mocking, obviously, but I feel like we would. We're just Tottenham. We just do that. We underestimate our team. But against Fulham, it's going to be a tough game. Jimenez obviously started for Arsenal. Paulina, I think it is. He had a fantastic game against Arsenal.
Mm.
With that main focus of Fulham's midfielders. But then you look at the likes of our midfielders. I mean, we got good depth in our midfield. I want to ask you quickly. Last question is regarding that midfield. I think you said you start Lo Celso as well. Am I correct?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
what did you make after that when Lo Celso came on? Because there was a lot of Lo Celso came on versus Bournemouth. There was a lot
Yeah.
of controversial opinions regarding him.
I mean, yeah, the performance was a bit flat, but I think he came on at a time where our intention was to kill the game. Ange put on a whole new midfield basically, and that was with the intention of we were under pressure for a good like sort of 10-minute period in that game, and it looked like we were going to concede if we didn't change something. And the intention wasn't to sort of push the game directly in the other way; it was just to kill it. And it was brilliant game management by Ange, by the way, but Lo Celso wasn't sort of put in a situation where he was asked to be on the front foot and make things happen. It was sort of keep the ball, sort of destroy the momentum of the game, and just see this one out. So I'm not going to read too much into his performance. I think the whole point of those changes and him coming on was to just kill that game off, which is exactly what happened. So I'm more interested in him starting in this game. This game, if he does start, I'll be judging his performance much more than I do in that Bournemouth cameo. To put it that way.
Look, I'm gonna say that I prefer Lo Celso in a central midfield position. I don't like him at a cam position. That's just my opinion. I think he's like a better version of Pape Matar. I know it's controversial, but I think he's a better version. But I like Sarr too much to drop him.
I think you're
So
gonna get
look,
pelters for that one.
I
You're
know
gonna
I
get
am. I
absolute
know I am.
pelters.
Look, Lo Celso, in my opinion, is more experienced than Sarr. Technically more experienced. just maybe the wrong use of words I used earlier, but in general, I think if I had to choose someone on their day, I probably would choose Lo Celso. But because I know Josh is getting upset
Comments
because
flaming for that one in the comments. That is horrific.
because Lo Celso isn't on form, obviously, and just
Mm.
because of that performance versus Bournemouth as well, I'm not looking forward to seeing him playing that cam position. Now, Josh, to end this, what is your score prediction versus Fulham? Obviously, second round in the League Cup.
Yeah.
Gonna be a tight one. I'm hoping you're gonna give me some positivity like you usually do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I went quite positive for Bournemouth, and I think we could have probably scored more against Bournemouth. You know,
Yeah.
Richie obviously had his couple chances, but we haven't scored under 2 goals this season so far. So I want to keep that trend going. And our clean sheets, we're keeping clean sheets at the minute, but obviously I actually do think he will rotate the defence more than you like, and I think he'll play Davinson and Emerson and a couple others. So
Oof.
I
Oof.
do think there's a good chance we probably concede a chance against Fulham, and I'll go 2-1. I'll keep it conservative. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Are we away or are we at home?
Yeah. Yeah. We're away. We're away.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-1.
And Marco Silva is also banned. Just saying, he's also banned Marco Silva because he's got too many yellow
Yeah.
cards. Look, I think Josh is just. I agree with Josh. I think it's going to be 2-1. Unfortunately, we agree on the score prediction.
It's the cups. They're
Just
always tight. They're always
it is
tight.
the cups. They're always tight, and also you're always going to go with the obvious, either 1-0, 1-1, or 2-1. It's never high scoring. I mean, actually, what we're saying last time, I think it was a pretty high scoring for Tottenham. But just also a side note, did you know that Vicario saved 93% shots that was actually faced against
Yeah,
him?
yeah, but I don't want to hear that from you because you were slagging him off all pre-season. I was sat
I
here,
was,
I sat
I
here,
was.
gave him Vicario propaganda, and you were sat here slagging him off I don't want to hear it from you.
I know.
I'll,
I'm raising my
let
hand.
your apologies be loud as your
I
disrespect.
am sorry, Vicario. I'm sorry. You're very very good, and may you long continue this unbelievable 93% record. And Josh is right.
He's going to concede
Josh
a
is
howler now, isn't he? He's going to concede
isn't
an
he right?
absolute howler.
Well, lads, this has been Spurs Live. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and comment down below your score prediction, as we will be very interested to know. Do you think we'll actually go to next round? Do you think we'll lose? Do you think we'll draw? Who knows? I mean, actually, we can't lose, can we? Because we're going to go to. Actually, we can't draw. What I'm talking about, we can't draw because we'll go to
No,
penalties.
no pens and right.
But hopefully, you guys have a very good day and come on, you Spurs.